during the game, Heidi Watney, that he'll find his way. He'll figure it out. He's just not there yet. Probably a lot of pressure hanging over his head now that he's being paid $7 billion to play baseball. So he's over his last 10 games when it comes to extra base hits. So nothing today from him as well. The big hitters on both sides of the ledger, whether it's the Mets or the Dodgers, didn't do a whole lot of anything. Lindor, 0 for 4. Sterling Marte did have a couple of hits. Soto, 0 for 5. Alonso, 0 for 3. As I say in the notes right there, the top 3 in the Dodgers lineup, Shohei was the only one to get a hit, and that was late. Betts was 0 for 5. Freeman, 0 for 3 with 3 Ks. Average falling all the way down to 331. But from there, it all picks up for the Dodgers. Will Smith, Teo, Muncy, all got hits and RBI. So that's the beauty of this lineup. And if you ask me, I think this lineup right here is one of my favorites. I went and looked up how many base hits or how many times Tommy Edmonds batted ninth. He's had, prior to tonight, 4 at-bats, and he was 2 for 4. So I'm sure he doesn't like it much, but I love Tommy Edman batting ninth in the lineup. What a luxury. Conforto, a former Met, got his first hit of the game in his first at bat. So that was nice to see. I was hoping maybe he'd go off, that whole I'm back here facing my former team phenomenon that always seems to happen. There's a chip on players' shoulders when they come to face their former team, and not just in baseball, it's in any sport. But I guess one hit for him is saying something. It's better than nothing. But at the end of the day, the bottom of the lineup was much better than the top of the lineup. Andy Pajes, as I said, 2 RBI in the win for them, and he continues to rake. 267 with an OPS over 800. But the bullpen, I think you have to give them credit. You have to say, hey, they pitched well. And in the end, Juan Garcia did the job. I thought they were cooked by the time they got to him, because, they were out of arms. They're like, you're the guy. Have fun. Let's do this.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
I guess we have it to give it to Teoscar Hernandez. 3 RBI, 2 hits, including the game-winning knock in the ninth, in the 13th inning. The craziest thing about this game was neither team could score with that runner at second base. I don't know that it is rare to go 13 innings in this day and age of baseball with that extra runner at second base in extras. I've never seen that. I was like, sack fly really is what you need. But the Dodgers kept hitting like weak ground balls, and then the Mets kept hitting into double plays, and no one could find any solid contact. No one could do anything at all in those first 10th, 11th, and 12th, those first 3 extra innings. And then Teo, thank God, came up and ripped a double down the left field line to give the Dodgers a 6-5 lead. Then they scored on a sac fly. And with a 7-5 advantage, Andy Pajes with the RBI there, you felt pretty comfortable. But again, the bullpen extended. Garcia 2 1/3, only 2 walks, and the rest zeros for him. So you have to tip your cap to that guy without a doubt. Bonda was okay, 2/3 of an inning, couple of walks, strikeout, got himself into a jam, had to get pulled. Trevino came in 2/3 of an inning. He's been really good. Zeros across the board, 15 pitches. Vesia gave up a hit, but had 2 Ks. Again, it was all on Tanner Scott's shoulder. He's going to have a tough night falling asleep tonight. But I guess in the end, a win is a win is a win. And you really have to say honorable mention for player of the game to Ben Kasparius. 46 pitches, 3 innings, 6 Ks. He had everything working tonight. I was like, oh, he's dialed in with the off speed. The curveball was a big 12-6 meatball not meatball. Sorry. That's what I described. The slider that didn't do anything. It was a 12-6 unhittable diving curveball. And then when he mixed in the cutter, that was even more wicked. And then the fastball had extreme life on it, up and away, 97. He was cooking, man. And I was like, just leave him in. He's gone. He could stretch him out. He's fine throwing 50, 60 pitches. No need to save him. And this game would have been over about 3 hours ago. But that's not what the book says. Got to get 10. I mean, I get it. Look, it makes sense, right? All right. Kasparis has done his job. Sauer was okay. Did give up 2 runs on 3 hits. But Kasparis comes in, quiets things down. Dodgers grab a lead. It's 5-2 going into the night. Yeah. Let's bring in our guy that we had. I don't know if he's considered the closer, but I've heard him referenced as the closer. Let's bring him in and slam the door, right? Even though he hasn't been good of late, this will be a good opportunity for him to get some confidence. And whew, boy, did that backfire. So unfortunately, he's going to have to do some big time page turning tonight.
This is what you'll be talking about.
There's a lot to talk about with regard to what happened in this game. I guess the biggest story is the fact that they went 13 and the Dodgers figured out a way to win it. 7-5. No runs for the first 3 extra innings on both sides. And then the Dodgers got 2 in the 13th and win it. Another thing you'll be talking about in this game, if you watched or if you didn't and you talked to a friend who did, is those bizarre, weird umpire calls, which we're going to talk about after the break. It's the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done, even if it starts 6.5 hours ago. 7-5 the final. Dodgers now 32-19. Who got the win? We need to give him credit. Yeah, Garcia did. He's now 2-0. So when we come back, we'll talk about these weird, bizarre umpire calls that some of them were right, some of them were surprising, interesting, and some of them were wrong. So we'll get to that after the break. It's the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast is brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. The NBA playoffs are in full swing. Knicks are in a 2-0 hold to the Pacers. Every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't miss moments. Whether it's game-winning shots or breakout players, there's never been a better time to get in on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live during the game with player props, performance trends, and same game parlays. Fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. The live game betting for me is really fun. Probably would have lost on this one if I was live betting this Dodger game, because after they didn't score in the 10th, and the home team in a extra inning baseball game has an advantage for sure, because that last at bat means a lot. But tonight, the Dodgers made it happen, made it work. I probably would have lost because I would have said, well, you didn't score in the 10th or the 11th. You're done. and you're burning through bullpen guys, and, you're running out of arms. So it's rare that you could have a guy come out of the bullpen in the 11th and 12th and even the 10th and pitch that long and get it done. And that's what Juan Garcia did tonight. He was amazing.